Direct and inverse proportion. The first chapter. O'zbekchasimi to'g'ri va teskari proporsiya degani. Mana shu mavzu haqida gaplashamiz bugun. Xudo xolasa, 7-si yo'q. 2 oy ichida mana shu 8-6 ta temani tugatish harakat qilamiz, xudo xolasa. Birinchisi o'sha direct and inverse proportions. Bu biroz balki nimalarda qiynalishi mumkin. Nimalar ko'rganda, savollar ko'rganda, chunki hammasi word problems, and also you need to improve your English. Okay?
Okay.
Hech problem emas, lekin boshida sal tushuntirib ketaveraman, xudo xolasa o'zbekchasini ham tushuntirib boraman. Tushungandan keyin tezlashib ketamiz. Ikkinchisi expansion and factorization of algebraic expressions. Ya'ni algebrik ifodalarni qavslarni ochish va ko'paytiruvchiga ajratish. Algebraic manipulation and formula. Bu hammasi algebraic formulalardan ishlatish. To'rtinchisi simultaneous linear equations. Tenglamalar sistemani yechish. To'rtinchisi. Beshinchisi linear inequalities. Chiziqli tenglamalar. Oltinchisi solutions to quadratic equations. Oltinchisi kvadrat tenglamalar haqida. Bugun mana bir haftada, 1,5 hafta balkim 6 soat ichida mana shu tugatishga harakat qilamiz birinchisini. Demak, direct and inverse proportions. What are we going to learn here? Number one is you will learn how to write an equation connecting two quantities which are directly proportional to each other. Okay, write an equation. Write an equation degani nima degani? Tenglamalarni yozish. Connecting two quantities. Agar sen ikkita narsa berilgan bo'lsa, misol uchun bularni agar bir-biriga ular nima deydi? If these quantities are directly proportional to each other. Bu degani to'g'ri proporsion bo'lsa bir-biriga, ularni tenglama orqali qanday ifodalaymiz? Ya'ni bu yerda quantities deganda nimani tushunish kerak? Uni tushuntiraman senga. Hayotdagi ko'p narsa bir-biriga bog'langan. Misol uchun oddiy narsa, sen bitta joyda ishlayapsan, misol stolboyda ishlayapsan, to'g'rimi? Stolboy bilan kelishding. Stolboychi aytadiki, "Bo'p, kelib ishlasang, senga har soatiga misol uchun 30 so'm beraman." U nima bo'ladi? Bu degani bir kunda 1 soat ishlasang 30 so'm olasan, to'g'rimi? 2 soat ishlasang 60 so'm olasan. 3 soat ishlasang 90 so'm olasan, to'g'rimi? Mana bu ikkilasi bir-biriga to'g'ri proporsional. Nimaga? Chunki marta ishlagan soating bilan qanaqa topgan puling ayni nisbatda oshib boryapti. Bular ko'ramiz. Biroz umumiy tushuncha. Shunaqa narsalarni misol uchun bir-biriga bog'liq bo'lgan nimalar ko'p. Quantities deymiz, kattaliklar ko'p. Biz ularni faqatgina the ones which are directly proportional to each other. Shular haqida gapiramiz. Mayli. Write an equation connecting to two quantities which are inversely proportional to each other. Bu keng temamiz. Undan keyin solve problems involving direct and inverse proportions. Mayli, bular hozir turib turaversin. Mana birinchidan boshlaymiz. Direct proportion haqida gaplashaylik.
Tamam. Abuqosim aka.
Eshityaptimi?
Ha, eshityapti. Abuqosim aka.
Ha.
Direct proportion degani bu direct and indirect bo'lib bo'linadimi?
Indirect demimizki, directni inverse deymiz. Direct and inverse.
Inverse. Endi direct degani bu masalan proportion degani, shunga eslayapman. Ikkita narsa bo'lsa, ikki narsa teng ko'tarilsa, masalan bittasi ko'tarilsa, ikkinchisi ham ko'tariladigan bo'lsa, bu direct bo'ladi. Inverse bo'ladigan bo'lsa, masalan bittasi ko'tarilsa, ikkinchisi tushiradigan bo'lsa, bu inverse bo'ladi, to'g'rimi?
Xuddi shunaqa, lekin faqatgina bittasi ko'targan u yetarli emas. O'sha ikkita narsa bir xil tezlikda katta bo'lishi kerak.
Masalan, birinchisiga o'zining hisobida 2 qo'shiladigan bo'lsa, ikkinchisiga ham o'zining hisobida 2 qo'shiladi, tushundingmi? Masalan, birinchisi 2 ga ko'paytiriladigan bo'lsa,
ko'paytiriladigan bo'lsa. Ya'ni hozir tenglamada ko'ramiz Muhammad aytganga nimalar to'g'ri, lekin faqatgina bu yerda rate borku, rate. If these two quantities increase or decrease at the same rate, then we say that these two quantities are directly proportional to each other. The rate is important. And that's why here a rate is a comparison of quantities of different kinds. Farqli xillardagi misol kattaliklarni solishtirishimiz rate deymiz. Misol uchun bozorga chiqsam $1 75 so'm. To'g'rimi? Marta $1 misol uchun marta $1 aytyapsan 75 so'm, 75 so'm. To'g'rimi? Bu ham rate, yani 1 dollarga sen 75 so'm olyapsan-da, bu dollar, mana so'm. To'g'rimi? Ikkita different kinds, you have the quantities of different kinds. These are two quantities but different kinds. Here we are talking about US dollar, here we are talking about Kyrgyz so'm. So we are comparing this. This is a rate problem. For example, if you buy gasoline, if you buy gasoline on 1 liter, you can travel, for example, 8 kilometers, right? So that means that 1 liter of gasoline is enough for 8 kilometers. We are comparing here gasoline, here the distance, right? 8 kilometers. Two different things. And also this is a rate problem. Okay. So how about the second one, ratio? A ratio is a comparison of quantities of the same kind. When you talk about rate, you are talking about two different things. And when you talk about ratio, we are talking about the same kind. For example, ratio, we can talk about a school, for example, right? And we have, in our family, for example, in our family, we have 4 girls, right? And 3 boys, for example. Now, if I ask you, what is the ratio of boys to girls in our family? Boys to girls, we are talking about people and people, right? So number of boys is 3, and number of girls 4. So we say that the ratio of boys to girls in our family is 3 to 4. So here, boys to girls. Another question, in our family, what is the ratio of girls to boys? And girls to boys is 4 to 3. Okay. So like this, we can compare the prices of things. We can compare the price of 1 liter of sunflower in Kyrgyzstan, 1 liter of sunflower in Uzbekistan. We can compare the price of, for example, what is it? Toyota Corolla in Kyrgyzstan, Toyota Corolla in Japan. The same things, but we are just comparing. Okay. Anyway, so let's get back to our direct proportion, because to understand this direct proportion, you should know about this rate and ratio. Okay, Abdullah Muhammad Azay tushunmay qolsang, inglizchani aytgin. Senga ingliz gapiryapman, inglizchani qulog'ing o'rganib boradi bu matematika anaqa terminlariga.
Bo'ldi. Endi hozir tushungan narsamni sizga aytaymi? Rate it means two same things but in different quantities, right? For example,
different kinds.
$1.
Different kinds.
Masalan, $1 75 so'm. So'm bu Qirg'izistonda pullik nimasi, o'lchami. Dollar bo'lsa bu Amerikani pullik o'lchami. Lekin ikkalasi ham pul. Tushunarsanmi? Rate?
Yeah, they are ikkalasi ham pul, lekin pul birliklari boshqacha. Bittasi dollar, mana dollar ishlatadi, bittasi so'm.
So'm.
Mana bu yerda misol uchun sen benzinni necha kilometr yetishini hisoblayapsan misol uchun. Sen taqqoslayapsan 1 kilometr 1 litr benzin 8 kilometrga yetar ekan. Mana bu benzin litr bilan o'lchanadigan narsa, mana bu masofa kilometr o'lchanadigan narsa. Tushunasizmi? Yoki bo'lmasa mana aytishimiz 3 kilogramm makka misol uchun corn misol uchun 5 ta qo'yga yetish mumkin bir kunga. Tushunasizmi? Bu ham misol uchun bu yerda makka, mana bu yerda qo'y haqida gap ketyapti. Alo. Bo'ldimi? Yaxshi ishlayaptimi?
Shu narsa rate-mi?
Ha, bular rate. Endi hozir ko'ramiz. Yana ham
shu narsa rate-mi?
Ha?
Shu narsa rate-mi deyman? Shu narsa rate deb ataymizmi?
Yeah, bular rate problemsdan problems related to rates. Misol uchun $1 ga qancha so'm olamiz? Misol uchun, agar $1 ga 75 so'm bo'lsa, $5 ga necha pul olaman? Bunaqa misol hammasi rate problems matematikada. Chunki ikkita farqli narsani taqqoslayapsanmi? Mayli, hozir davom etishadi. Hozir yana ko'proq yechgandan keyin tushunib borasiz bu narsani. Hamma narsani birdan tushunib olaman desang, hozir qiynalib qolasan. Hozir sen tushunishing bo'lgan narsa mana $1 equals 75 so'm. 1 liter of gasoline is enough for 8 kilometers for example, 3 kilos of corn is enough for 5 sheep. These are all problems related to rate. Now the question, what is the rates? We are just comparing two different quantities, right? These are the quantities, but the kinds are different, right? This one is dollar sign, this one is sum, this one is liter, this one is kilometer. These are all units of measurement, right? And with this units, we measure the amount of liquids. With this one, the amount of money which is used in USA, right? This one, we use this to measure a distance, right? And this is just the animal. Okay, we are just comparing. Anyway, here, direct proportion, is the relationship between two variables. Okay, two variables. Again, what are these two variables? One may be US dollar, another one may be one may be the weeks, for example, the first week, second week, and the third week. And the second variable, it may be the amount of money you earn, okay? So when the ratio is equal to a constant value. So that means that direct proportion is the relationship between two variables when the ratio is equal to a constant value. So constant bo'lgandan keyin mana bu two variables ham bitta xil bo'lish kerak ekan. Ya'ni xullas, misol uchun hozir bir nechta misol ko'rsataman. Direct proportion degan nima degan? Ikkita quantity haqida gap ketayotgan bo'lsak, birinchisini misol uchun x bilan belgilaylik. Ikkinchisini misol uchun y bilan belgilaylik. Bu nima bo'lishi mumkin? Har qanday narsa bo'lishi mumkin. Misol uchun bu kunlar soni bo'lishi mumkin, haftalar soni bo'lishi mumkin, yil bo'lishi mumkin, biror narsani odamlar soni bo'lishi mumkin. Bu unga bog'liq narsa bo'lishi mumkin. Misol uchun misol uchun kunlar desang, birinchi kun, ikkinchi kun, uchinchi kun, to'rtinchi kun. Misol uchun bu y seni bozorda ishlab topgan puling bo'lishi mumkin. Birinchi kun 50 so'm topding, ikkinchi kun 100 so'm topding, uchinchi kun 150 so'm topding, misol uchun to'rtinchi kun boshqa narsa topding. Shunaqa narsa. Misol uchun aytaylik, mana buni birinchi qiymatiga mana x1 bo'lib, unga mos qiymati misol uchun y1 bo'lsin. Undan keyingi qiymati x2 bo'lsin, y2 bo'lsin. Bu bir-biriga bog'liq narsalar-ku. Misol uchun bu x1 nima bo'lishi mumkin? Sen taksiga ketayotgan bo'lsang, bosib o'tgan masofa bo'lishi mumkin. Mana bu y1 bo'lsa, misol uchun o'sha bosib o'tgan masofangga ko'ra olingan pul bo'lishi mumkin. Misol taksida aytish mumkin, taksi chiqsangiz har bir kilometriga 20 so'm olaman. U degani 1 kilometr yursang 20 so'm to'laysan, 2 kilometr yursang 40 so'm to'laysan, 3 kilometr yursang 60 so'm to'laysan, to'g'rimi? Bu davom etadi shunaqa. Endi bu har xil narsa bo'lishi mumkin. Lekin biz maxsus nimasini qarayapmiz? Shunaqa bir ikkita variablelarni qarayapmizki, bularning nisbatni olganingda teng bo'lishi kerak-da. y1 yani y sub 1 over x sub 1 or y1 over x1 should be equal to y2 over x2, y3 x3. So if these ratios are constant, then we say that these x and y are directly proportional to each other. Chunki hayotda bunaqa bir-biriga bog'liq bo'lgan narsa juda ham ko'p. Lekin biz bu eng oddiysini qarayapmiz. Ular nisbati birorta constant songa teng. Misol uchun, mana bir ikkita misol yechaylik. What is this example for direct proportion? Find the cost of 13 kg of biscuits if 6 kg of them cost $27. How to solve this kind of questions? It's about rate problem, right? And also actually it's direct proportion because for 6 kg you're paying this much. If you buy more, the number of kilos you are buying, amount of money you are paying, they increase at the same rates. That's why they are direct proportional to each other. Huh?
I know how this is.
You know how to solve this problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Actually, next time if you have a pencil, maybe. Okay, so here, what is given here? 6 kg, right? So here we have two different quantities. For 6 kg, you should pay how much? $27.
$27.
You saw like this. For 13 kg, we should pay how much? Let's say it is X dollars. Okay. So this one is X values. This one is Y values, right? And first, here you have to identify that these two things are directly proportional to each other. Why? Because if this increases, also this increases, and at the same rate actually. So to do this one using our formula, I can just write this: y sub 1 over x sub 1 is equal to y sub 2 over x sub 2. Now we have to substitute, right? What is y sub 1? 27. Here we have 27. X sub 1, it is 6, equals, what is y sub 2? It is x. And here we have 13.
54 and 30. No, sir. Yes, sir. We have another way. We can, the first one, $27, we can divide by 6 and times to 13 kg, 13.
Yes. Yeah, that's also right. We are going to learn that method a bit later. Okay. I'm just saying here what you have to understand here is, number one, can you identify here that when you just read the problem, this one is a direct proportion problem. Okay. Here what you have to understand from here. And here, yes, you can solve this because now how you call this expression in math, this equation, we call this proportion.
Okay.
Right? Because this one is a ratio, 27 to 6, this is a ratio, and that's also a ratio. If two ratios are equal to each other, then we call this proportion. How do you solve proportion? Usually to solve this one, I should just cross multiply, right? 13 goes here, 6 goes here. Or to find this x, I should multiply both sides by 13. So I can, if I write here 13 times 27 over 6, and 13 times x over 13. Because if you do the same thing to both sides, nothing changes. So this multiply, right? They cancel each other. And here we have x. Now I should simplify this. How can I simplify this? That is 13 times this 27 is 3 times 9 over 3 times 2, right? And you know how to do this. These things cancel each other. 9 times 13 is 27, 90, 117 over 2. And now here, since we are talking about the price of something, you should leave it in decimal form. Dot, dot, dot. Also, when you're writing your final answer, always write dot, dot, dot. This means that is, therefore, if you buy 13 kg of biscuits that you have to pay, how much is it? This one is $58.5. Okay.
Okay.
You may know this, I know, but here I'm just showing you, number one, how to read the problem. Number two, how to solve this step by step. And after that, write your final answer here.
Stop, sir. Can I go copy this one?
Say again.
Copy.
What?
Copy.
No, you don't have to copy. Everything is saved here. Okay. And I'll share with you after the when you need, you can have a look.
Okay.
All right. Now you don't have you can ask a question. You should just watch and stay with me. And you don't have to do anything. Another problem also related to direct proportion, and I'm sure that you know how to solve this. Find x if we are given this relationship. 30 to 50,
here,
that the ratio of 30 to 50 is equal to the ratio of 6 to x. So to do this one first, I should just convert this into fraction form, right? So here 30 to 50 means I can write it as 30 over 50 is equal to 6 over x. Now this one 10 they cancel each other. Cross multiply 3 times x. So here 3 times x, 3x.
yes,
6 times 5, it is 30. What is x?
Stop, sir. Why we time 3 to by x? 3 to x.
Yeah, cross multiply 3 times x, 3x, 6 times 5, 13. Then divide by 3.
Okay, why we're cross multiply? It means proportion, right?
Yeah, because here we have one fraction, and here we have one fraction. In solving a lot of examples, equations, you have to bring into this form. What is it? It's a proportion. Then cross multiply and take everything to the left-hand side, or numbers to the right-hand side, and all the terms that has x to the left-hand side, and we can solve this.
And y3x equal to 13. 30.
30. 6 times
30.
5 is 30. What is 6 times 5? 5 times 6, 30. X times 3, 3x.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Another problem. Here, the amount of petrol in the fuel tanks of 3 cars, A, B, and C, are in the ratio 8 to 10 to 13. This is also a ratio problem. If the tank with the smallest amount of petrol has 50 liters of petrol, find the difference in the amount of petrol in the other 2 cars. All right.
Sir. Okay. The first one we will 8. No. 8 divided by 15. Second one will 10 divided by x. 13 divided by x. 13 divided by 3. 13 divided by y, right? Y.
Yeah. Okay, we can do this first. Let's try to understand this problem. Okay, when you are solving this, number one, if possible, we need to draw a diagram or a picture, something that describes this problem. So we are talking about 3 different cars, right? Here, because of this ratio 8 and 13, this is the smallest one. Let's say this one is tank A. This one is tank B, car B is tank, and this one is C. And these are in the ratio of this. What does it mean? It means that if I just write this actual volume of these tanks are capital A, capital B, and capital C, those are in the ratio 10, 8 to 10 to 13. That means that we know that in ratio problem, if you multiply each number by something, right, does not change the ratio. So here, that means that this is the same as 8p, 10p, 13p. You mean this? So now here, the size of the first tank is 8p liters. Second one is 10p liters. Third one is 13p liters. Now in the question, it says that if the tank with the smallest amount, which one is the smallest amount of petrol? Here, right? Has 50 liters of petrol. So that means that that's the first step. In the second step, so this 8p equals 50. Because if I know the value of p, I can find the volume of this tank A, tank B, tank C. Actually, it's already given. This is 50. Right?
Equal 50 divided by 8.
Okay, so p is equal to 50 over 8. That's equal to by 2, 25 over 4, right? What is it? Actually, it's equal to 6.25 something. All right. Actually, I can just keep it like this. Then we can simplify.
And
anyway,
10
this
times
is the value of p.
Yeah, and we can do it b, for example, 6.25 times 10. It means 62.5. B1, C1, 13 times 6.25. It's just, well, no, 1 minute.
So here, Aziz, the question is find the difference in the amount of petrol in the other 2 cars. So these are the 2 cars, right? So the question is we have to find C minus B. What is C? It is 13p. Minus B, it is 10p.
10.
So 13p minus 10p, it is 3p, right? So do we know this p? We know from here, right? So this 3 times the value of p is 25 over 4, which is equal to 3 times 25, 75 over 4. So we can just write this in also in decimal form, 18.75. That's all. So that's the answer. We don't have to evaluate this. First, C minus P, substitute, simplify, then substitute the value of P here, then evaluate this. So that is the answer. Find the difference in the amount of petrol in the other 2 cars, dots, dots, dots. the difference is 18.75 liters.
Okay.
Okay. This is,
Yeah.
I'm showing here how you should solve the problems in the exercise. Step by step. First, try to understand. Write what is given. And after that, write your equation, then solve it. And write your final answer here. Okay?
Okay, I have understood.
Good. Continue. More on direct proportion. Graphical representation of direct proportion. So here, if y is directly proportional to x, then in general, the ratio of y to x is constant number. If it is so, then we say that y is directly proportional to x. Here, k is constant number and is not equal to 0. Actually, as you see here, always when we say y is directly proportional to x, this is how we describe this. That means that these two things are related to each other by this equation. What is k? K is constant and it's not equal to 0. Okay? If you see any equation, they are related to each other in this way, that means that y is directly proportional to x. And what does it mean that these two things are directly proportional to each other? That means that y over x, that's equal to always constant. Okay? That means that these two things, y and x, they change at the same rate. It means this. If you multiply this by 2, also you must multiply this by 10. If you divide this by 2, also you should divide this by 10. If this one is the amount of money you earn, for example, let's say in 5 days, you earn $100. If you want to earn $200, and also you have to double the number of days, right? Then you have to work for 10 days. Anyway, how about the graph? I'll get back to this graph later. Since the equation is y is equal to k times x, this graph is a straight line. Okay. When x equals 0, y is equal to 0. When x equals x sub 1, y equals y sub 1. To draw a straight line, we just need 2 pieces of information, 2 points. They belong to this line. Since I know this line and this line, put your ruler here, you can draw its picture. So the graph of this directly proportional, I mean this y equals kx, is a straight line that always passes the origin, through the origin, okay? And its graph is something like this. It may be something like this, it may be something like this, but it's a straight line, always passes through the origin. Anyway, we'll see this in an example. Let me show you. There are a lot of examples similar to this, okay? So I'm showing here how to solve, how to understand this problem. So that nice, you need to solve them in your notebook. Direct proportion. First, if y is directly proportional to x. In the first step, what you have to write here is, write in this form, y is directly proportional to x. This is how we read it, okay? And mathematically, this is the same thing to this. Now see, math means we're just describing this form in a very compact form. And what is given here? It says that y is equal to 12 when x equals 4. When x equals 4, right? Number 1, A. Find an equation connecting x and y. And we know that if these two things are directly proportional to x, what is the equation? The equation is y equals k times x, right? Ne oldu? Sen internetim ya, men internetim mi?
Boshqa söylep ketganmizmi?
Example 4.
Stop sir. Biz bu yerda emas edik.
Qayerda edik?
Buni oldingi betga o'ta olasizmi?
Mashimi?
Bunga ham o'tmadik hali, yetmadik bunga ham hali.
Sen xato olib ketding.
Mana mashitda biz.
Ha, yaxshi. Xullas, Muhammad, mana bu yerda demakki ikkita o'zgaruvchi haqida gap ketyapti. Ikkita o'zgaruvchi har xil qiymat olishi mumkin. Masalan, hayvonning sirazi misol uchun taksilarni keltirishi mumkin. Har bitta o'tgan masofa kilometrga ma'lum pul oladi. Yoki bo'lmasam bozorda har bir soatga ish qilayotgan odamlarni qilishi mumkin. Misol uchun ingliz kursga borayotgan bo'lsang, har bir soatiga 50 so'm to'lashing kerak. 1 soat dars o'qisang 50 so'm, 2 soat dars o'qisang 100 so'm. Yoki bo'lmasam bozorda narxlar olishi mumkin. Misol uchun bodring olayotgan bo'lsang 1 kilosi 40 so'm, 2 kilosi 80 so'm. Bular hammasi to'g'ri proportion, direct proportionga hayotdagi misollar. Demakki bu to'g'ri agar ikkita x va y bir-biriga if this x and y are direct proportional to each other, then their general equation is this: y equals k times x. You know that this k is constant, x and y are variables. Okay? And how about the graph of this equation? We know that its graph is a straight line. Okay, for example, let's say y is equal to 2x. Is it direct proportion? Yes, right? Because y over x is constant number. How do you draw its graph? To draw its graph, we know that it's a straight line. I just need to find 2 points that belong to this line. Here we have x, here we have y. For example, here, if x equals 0, what is the value of y? It is 0. If x equals 3, for example, 2 times 3, y is equal to 6, right? If x equals, for example, 4, 2 times 4, it is 8. All right. Then 0, 0, it is here, right? As 3, 6, maybe it is here. 4, 8, maybe it is here. Okay. Then just put your ruler and draw a straight line. That gives the graph of this equation. Okay. So if two things are directly proportional to each other, number one, they are connected by this equation. They are related by this equation to each other. And the graph is a straight line. It always passes through the origin. It is like this, maybe it is something like this, maybe it is something like this, but it must pass through the origin and it's a straight line. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Endi Abulqosim aka, bir daqiqa. Orqaga qaytalasizmi? Hozir siz ingliz tushirgansizmi, o'zbekcha aytib beraymi?
Ha.
Bu bizga tablitsasi, ya'ni to'g'ri proporsiyaning tablitsasi, masalan, bu degani bitta narsa ko'tarilganda ikkinchisi ko'tariladi. Y ravno 2x bo'lganda, masalan, y bitta plyonka tepaga ko'tarilganda, значит x ham bitta ustun tepaga ko'tarilib turib, ashna 4x bo'lib qoladimi? 2y bo'lganda?
Qani 2y?
Turibdi, hatto mana y ravno 2x ko'rib turibsiz. Ha, ustidagi.
Mana xy.
Xo'p.
Misol uchun, mana bu ikkita narsa to'g'rimi? Buni nima deymiz? Mana bu o'zgaruvchi ham o'zgaruvchi. Lekin bu independent variable deymiz, buni dependent variable. Chunki bu y bunga qarab o'zgaradi, x ga qarab o'zgaradi. Agar x 0 bo'lsa, misol uchun, y ga qiymati qanday topaman? 2 ko'paytirgan 0, 0 ga teng. Tamom. Endi agar x 3 bo'lsa, y ning qiymati nima bo'ladi? Qo'yamiz bu yerga 2 ko'paytirgan 3, 6. Demak, y qiymati 6. Agar x 4 bo'ladigan bo'lsa, 2 ko'paytirgan 4, 8. Demak, 8. Mos qiymatlar bu bo'ladi. Demak, bu 0, 0, 3, 6, 4, 8. Misol biz 3 ta nuqtani topdik. Birinchi nuqtaning koordinatalari 0, 0. Ikkinchisiniki 3, 6 misol. Uchinchisiniki 4, 8. O'z grafiga nima degani? Graf nima deydi? Grafikasi dedim o'zbekcha. Grafikasi mana bu nuqtalarni 0, 0 qayerda? Mana bu 0, 0. 3, 6 qayerda? Misol uchun faraz qilaylik. Mana bu 3, 6. Mana bu 3, bu 6 bo'lsin. Mana bu misol uchun 4, 8 bo'lsin. Mana bu nuqta 4, bu 8 bo'lsin. 3 ta nuqtani topdikmi? Mana bu birinchisi, mana ikkinchisi, uchinchisi. Davom etishim mumkin, lekin o'sha grafikani chizmoqchi bo'lgan grafikani chizmoqchi bo'layotgan bo'lsang, ko'p nuqta qo'yish shart emas. To'g'ri chizish uchun bizga ikkita nuqta yetarli. Chunki ikkita nuqtadan yagona bitta chizib o'tkazish mumkin-da, bundan boshqa chizib o'tmaydi. Mana mana shu ikkita nuqtani bilaman, jadvalni qo'yaman, to'g'ri chizadigan bo'lsam, o'sha chizilgan narsa mana bu tenglamaning grafikasi bo'ladi. Okay. Davom etamiz. Here is another example. If y is directly proportional to x, immediately you should be able to write this symbolic notation. Okay, this means that it is y is directly proportional to x. This is how we translate into math language. And it says that if y equals 12, when x equals 4. So when y equals 12, I can just write here y sub 1 and x sub 1 equals 4. Number one, the question one is question A. Find an equation connecting x and y. When just ask this question, immediately you have to think of that since these two things are directly proportional to each other, x and y are connected by each other to each other by this equation. Y equals k times x. So that is the equation. But here I have to determine this k because I don't know its value. These are variables, nothing to do. They just stand like this. But first, we need to find out the value of k. How can I do that? Using this given information. Because here is saying that x equals 4 when y equals 12, or y equals 12 when x equals 4. If you substitute here, it is 12k times, what is x? Equals 4. So what is k? K equals 12 over 4, which is equal to 3. So if I know this k is a constant number, so I can just write the equation. Then x and y are connected to each other by this equation. Okay, that's the answer to question A. Now using this equation, I can answer question B and question C. For example, question B, now I know the equation. I know how they are related to each other. Find the value of y when x equals 5. Let's say x sub 2 equals 5. The question is, what is y sub 2? Okay, so I let me just substitute here. So I know the equation. So when y is equal to this, right? So it is 3 times, what is x? X equals 5. So I can write here 2, it doesn't matter. So it is equal to 3 times x sub 2, which is equal to 3 times. What is x sub 2? Is equal to 5. So that's equal to 50. Now my answer is equal to 50. What is it? It means y sub 2. Y sub 2 is equal to 15 when x sub 2 is equal to 5. I'm just writing this subscript notation to show you that actually these two things are corresponding values. In a similar way, you can solve C, right? Find the value of x when y equals 21. Now here, y sub 3 equals 21. The question is, what is x sub 3? Okay. So, so from here, if I substitute here, our equation is y is equal to 3 times x. Y is given here, it is 21. And 3 times, what is x? I don't know, x sub 3. From here, 3 times what number equals 21? So x sub 3 is equal to 21 over 3, which is equal to 7. Okay?
Okay. Так. X5 значит k degani bu 12 bo'lingan 3 kon bo'lsa, значит k da o'rniga 3 bor ekan, 3 ko'paytirilgan x bo'lgan. Ana shu hisobiga yechyapmiz ekan, to'g'rimi? Masalan, value of y when x равно 5 bo'lganda 3 times 5 equal of y. It means 15 equal y. Right?
Equal.
15. And second, C1, attack x equal divide over 21 over 3, 7. X times x equal 7 bo'lib tushunibdi. Sir, can I do next example? Can I solve next example? Okay, the expense dollar E of a T per T are directly proportional to the number of guests. Guests, it means guest. Guest degan mehmon deganimi?
Guests.
Guest. Mehmonmi?
Ha, mehmon.
Tamam. And present for 30 guests. The expenses are $210. Find the expenses of 18 guests.
80 guests. 80.
Guests. 80 guests. Okay. The first we can do 13 guests. Divide by no.
No, here first you have to write
$210.
here first, do it step by step in a systematical way. What you have to do is we're talking about E, right? The expense and the number of people N. So first you have to write here is this E is directly proportional to N.
N.
And after that, we are talking about 30 guests. The expenses are this. Find the expense of this 80 guests. So you need to write this equation. E sub 1 over N sub 1 equals E sub 2 over N sub 2. How do I know that these two ratios are equal? Because it says that they are directly proportional to each other. That's why. It means that their ratios must be equal to each other. Now, what is E sub 1? This one is expenses, right? Expense, this one is E sub 1. How about this one? For 30 guests, the expenses are this. So this one is, what is it? N sub 1. So I should write here, E sub 1 is 210 over, this one is 30 is equal to. For 80 guests, find the expenses of 80 guests. I don't know how much I'm going to spend for 80 guests. So here we have 80. Now from here, first write step by step, not just read and write, but in a systematic way. What is given? Write the equation, substitute, then solve it. Okay. So now I can solve this. First simplify if you can. So 0, 0 cancel each other. 21 over 3, it is 7 equals E sub 2 over 80. Now from here, if you multiply both sides by 80, what is capital E sub 2 equals 7 times 80, which is equal to $560. Now, if possible, you should write your answer here. So, if you invite 80 guests to the party, the total expense will be $560. Okay, Abdullah, you may know all this problem, but learn here how to solve step by step. First step, write what is given. Second step, write your equation. Third step, solve it. Step number 4, and display your final answer. Okay?
Okay.
You want to have break?
Break? What does it mean?
Break. Tanaffus xohlaysanmi? Tanaffus beraymi?
Yo'q.
Bo'pti, zotan vaqt kam qoldi. 2 minutga tugatamiz. Men hozir eshitib, qarab turasiz, hozir misollar bir yechib ko'rasan, keyin ko'raman-da. Agar hammasini yaxshi yetsang, sal tezroq ketamiz. Agar qiynalsang, sal sekinroq ketamiz. Okay? All right. Example 6. But this is a bit different question. It's also similar. The total monthly charge, C dollars, for a handphone subscription consists of a fixed amount, $20 and a variable. The fixed, it does not change. This variable, it changes depending on some different quantities. Variable amount, which depends on the usage. Usage means how much you are using your mobile phone, how many minutes you are talking on your phone. Depending on the usage, this amount changes. For every minute used, 20 cents is charged. What does it mean? for 1 minute talk on the phone is charged 20 cents. Yes.
Can translate it in Kyrgyz, in Uzbek language, please?
Okay, the total monthly charge $3 for a handphone subscription. Yani uyda qo'lingda telefon bor. Sen kompaniyaga oldingi paytda telefonlar misol uchun har oyga pul to'lash kerak. Birinchi navbatda ana liniyani zaynat qilgan uchun har oyda kompaniya sendan $20 olar ekan. Telefonda gaplashsang, gaplashmasang ham. Mana bu fixed amount. Tushunyapsanmi? Umuman gaplashmasang ham nomerni zaynat qilib turgan uchun senga $20 har oy oladi. Plus and deyapti. A variable amount which depends on the usage. Ikkinchisi deyapti, qanchalik ko'p gaplashsang shunga qarab oladi deyapti. Unda rate nima bu yerda? Rate bu yerda 1 minutga 20 sent olar ekan. Ko'psan, misol uchun bir oyda faraz qil telefoning bor, ishlatding, kompaniyadan olasan-ku. Misol uchun 10 minut gaplashding bir oyda. 10 minutga nima bo'ladi? Har minutga 20 sent oladigan bo'lsa, nima bo'ladi bu yerda? $2 bo'ladi, to'g'rimi?
$2.
Mana fixed amount bor. Mana pulni to'lashing kerak. Plus va gaplashganing ham to'lash kerak. Mana bu nomer uchun to'laysan, mana bu gaplashganing uchun to'laysan. Demak, bir oyda qancha to'laysan? 20 plus
$22.
$22 to'lar ekansan.
Okay.
Tushunarlimi?
Tushunarli. Значит, ikkinchisida the first one, calculate the total monthly charges for the handphone subscription if the amount of usage is 120 minutes. It means I must 20 cents. The first one, I will write rate.
The total monthly charge is $3. First, we have to add here. Here we have fixed, right? Amount plus variable amount. And what is our fixed amount? Every month we have to pay this amount. So here we have $20 plus
and
variable means depends on how many minutes you talk on the phone. So in
120 minutes
120 minutes. But here we are using dollar, so we have to change this into dollar. 20 cents means 0.2. So here I should write here $0.2. So that is equal to, if you multiply by 10, it is 2. 2 times 20, 24. So that's equal to 20 plus 24, 44. Huh?
Yeah.
Tushundingmi?
Tushundim. Lekin siz bu yerda 20 sentmidi? 20 sent $0.12 bo'lib qoldi. $0.12 $120 ga ko'paytirganimizda $240 bo'lib qoldi. Endi $24 ga $24 plus $20 o'zi har oyda liniya zaryadga pulimizni qo'shdik. $24 gaplashgan vaqtimizni Ashim bilan $44 bo'lib qoldi. Bir oyga $44 to'ladik. Nima qilganimizga, ham gaplashganimizga, ham
Alo.
Alo.
Gapiraver.
Albatta. Mana 120 minut bunimiz $24 bo'ldi. Qanday $24 paydo bo'ldi? $0.2 ko'paytirilgan 120 bo'lganda $24 bo'ldi. Bu biz gaplashgan vaqtimiz. Endi $20 bo'lsa, bu liniya zaryad turgan bir oylik nimamiz? 120 minut bo'lsa, bu bir oylik vaqtimiz gaplashgan. Ashim bilan ikkosini qo'shganimizda $44 turadi bir oyga, to'g'rimi? Ham liniya zaryad turganimizga, ham bir oylik gaplashgan 120 minutimizga.
Demakki bu yerda nima deyapmiz? We have fixed amount and variable amount. Mana fixed amount o'sha liniyani zaryad turguncha berishing kerak. Va variable amount bu o'zgarishi mumkin. Bir oyda 120 minut gaplashish mumkin, 10 minut gaplashish mumkin, 500 minut gaplashish mumkin. Unga qarab hisoblanadi-da. O'shaning uchun variable amount deyapti bu yerda. Okay?
Okay.
Endi ikkinchi misol uchun aytyaptiki, if the total monthly charge for the headphone subscription is 50. Find the amount of usage. Nima degani?
Stop, sir. But here we haven't minutes.
Yo, savol tushundingmi? Nima deb tushunding? Savol tarjima qilish menga.
Agar deyapti. Total monthly. Agar deyapti, bir oyga biz $20 emas, $50 to'lasak liniya zatkaymiz deyapti. Charge-ga zarar kelganimiz deyapti, buncha aytganda. Find the amount of usage deyapti.
Ha. Mana masalan bunday qo'yapti M.Aziz. Bu yerda agar deyapti, bir oylikka sen kompaniyaga borib so'rading, necha pul bo'ldi so'rading. Ular bilishadi qancha gaplashgan. $50 bo'ldi deyapti. Sen $50 to'lading. Endi so'rayapti, agar sen borib bir oylik uchun $50 to'lagan bo'lsang, xuddi shu shartlarda bu telefonda necha minut gaplashgan bo'lasan deb so'rayapti.
Ha, tushunarli. Значит, buni $50 bo'lgan bo'lsa, $1
Sen masalan tushundingmi? Masalan savol tushundingmi?
Masalan tushundim, ha.
Tamam, savol tushungan bo'lsang, qanday yechamiz? Endi bilamizki, bu bir oylik nimamiz, C'miz fixed, to'g'rimi? $20 plus
$50.
Variable depends on how many minutes you talk. How many minutes did I talk in this month? I don't know. So let's say it is N, right? For each minute, we are paying how much? $0.2. Then here we have 0.2 times N. This N is the number of minutes we talk during this month. And this 0.2 is the rate, right? Because for each minute, we have to pay 0.2. It's a rate. So also we know that in this particular month, how much did we pay? $50. So this total bill is $50. Let me just write without dollar sign. Okay, you can delete this. Now I need to solve this. So take 20 to this side. From here, 0.2n equals 50 minus 20. Now what is n? N means number of minutes, right? 50 minus 20, 30 over 0.2, which is equal to 150. So that means that in this particular month, you talk on the phone for 150 minutes. And that's why you paid $50. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Next question. Write down a formula connecting C and N, where N is the number of minutes of usage. Actually, we have already written here. So the formula is here. This one is total charge, monthly charge. So that is fixed amount. It is 20 plus number of minutes you talk. And for each minute, they are charging $0.2. So that is equal to 0.2M. Actually, we need to use this formula to evaluate all of this stuff. Okay?
Okay.
The next question. Sketch the graph of C against N. In this relationship, a direct proportion between C and N. Explain. All right. So maybe we can try this at home, or we can do this here together. Sketch the graph. Now let me write the equation here. The C is equal to 20 plus 0.2n. Right? To draw the graph, first we need to draw y-axis, and this one is x-axis. Actually, here our x-axis is n. We are drawing our graph of the C against n. So C versus n, here this one is n, this one is C. Number of minutes you talk on the phone, and this one is the cost, right? The monthly charge. And we know that this is a linear equation, because linear equation will mean that this is in this form, ax plus b. And here we have y. Actually, its graph is always straight line. How do I draw its line? So here, using this one, if I just make a table, this one is N, this one is C. For example, if n equals 0, substitute here. 0 times 0.2, 0, 0 plus 20, it is 20. How about if n equals 5? If n equals 5, 5 times 0.2 is 1, 1 plus 20 is 21. How about if it is 10? 10 times 0.2, 2 plus 20, it is 22. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. You.
Now we need to plot these points. So 0, 20, the first one is 0, 20. Second one is 5, 21. And third one is here, let's say 10, 22. Okay. Let me just write here. Here we have 5, and here we have all right. Okay, here we have 5.
5.
Here we have 10. Here
10,
we have 15.
15.
And when it is 0,
And we have
let's say this 20 here. It's not drawn to scale. 20. Let's say here we have 21. Here we have 22, right? When it is 0, 20, the first one. Let me change the marker here. When it is 5, it is 21. The second one is here. And when it is 10, it is 22. It is here. So I can put the ruler and draw our graph. Okay, something like this. Yeah, it is. Here we have, and here we have maybe 10, not drawn the scale. Okay, by putting your ruler, you can draw more accurately. So number one is you have to draw this n-axis. This one is actually x-axis, y-axis. N-axis represents this number of minutes. This y-axis represents monthly charge, right? And we know these points. We know that these points are lying on the given line. And plot these points. 0, 20 is here. 521, 521 is here. 1022, 1022 is somewhere here. And put your ruler, actually they lie on the same straight line, and draw your graph. That will give us the graph. And in the next question, it says that, is this relationship a direct proportion between C and M? Explain. Is this relationship direct proportion or not?
in direct proportion, because when growing up, first one, second one also growing up.
Okay, that is wrong answer. As I told you, not only increasing. Okay, here n is increasing. When n increases, also c increases, but it doesn't mean that these two things are direct proportion to each other. As I told you, these two things, if they increase or decrease at the same rate, they are not increasing at the same rate. For example, if you, for example, here, when n equals, let's say, 10. All right. And what is it? What is 10? What is 10? You see that when n equals 10, y is 22. How about if n equals 20? What is c? Substitute here. 0.2 times 20, it is 4. 4 plus 20, 24. Right? So when this one is doubled, is it also doubled? No.
No, there is only plus.
That means that they are not increasing at the same rate. That's why they are not, these two things here, C and N are not directly proportional to each other. Okay? That's why you should be careful. They are not directly proportional to each other. Why? Because they are not changing at the same rate. One explanation. Second explanation is, after drawing the graph, if you remember, we said that the equation of direct proportions are y equals k times x. And its graph always passes through the origin. This graph, is it passing through the origin? No. Then it is not a graph of direct proportion. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Chunki masalan bir oyda men xohlasam gaplashaman, xohlasam gaplashmayman-da. Agar men masalan gaplashmay qo'ysam, lekin pul to'la olaman-da svязь qilib turganimga.
Lekin naqa kerak bu savolga unga aloqasi yo'q uni. Bu tenglamadan bilib olishing kerak. Sen bu S bilan N direct proportionmi, proportion emasmi? Chunki mana ikkita qiymatni oldim. Misol uchun mana bu N 1 bo'lsin, mana bu C 1 bo'lsin, mana bu N 2 bo'lsin, C 2 bo'lsin. Misol uchun mana bu yerda N 2 bo'lingan S 2. Bu bir-biriga tengmi, teng emasmi? N 1 bo'lingan S 1 misol uchun. Teng emas bular. 24 bo'lingan, misol uchun 20, 22 bo'lingan 10 ga teng emas, qo'yib ko'rsak. Direct proportion degan bu narsa teng bo'lishi kerak. Bu teng degani ikkalasi bir xil nisbat o'syapti, kamayapti degan. Chunki mana bu constant bo'lgani uchun bo'lmaydi-da. Bu tenglama bir xil ko'rinishga egami, mana bu bilan bu kx bir xil ko'rinishga ega emas, buni ortish narsasi bor bu yerda. Shuning uchun mana bu c bilan n bir-biri bilan to'g'ri proporsional emas. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
It means okay. C and N is not equal.
M.Aziz, bugunga mashi yetadi. Senga vazifa mana homework number 1. Nimaga homework exercise 1A. Okay? Due date qachon? Chorshanba. Chorshanba is 10 June 2020. Okay?
Okay.
Men aytganimdek katta daftar olib iloj bo'lsa A4 nimasidagi o'shaga yechib borishing kerak. Har bitta misolni yechib borib ana javoblar bilan taqqosda. Agar javobga to'g'ri chiqara olmaydigan bo'lsang, o'shalarni birga ko'rishimiz mumkin. Chunki men aytgan hamma misolni bitirib tekshirmayman. Yecha olmagan, chiqara olmaganini birga tekshiraman, lekin qilgan ishlarini ko'raman. Chorshanbagacha mana shu exercise 1A ni ko'rishga harakat qil. Hozir men senga ko'rsataman, to'xtab turchi. 1 minut keyin
Sir.
Oh.
Can you send me this page? Please. Menga masha shu nima jo'talasizmi?
Nimani?
Shu qilgan nimalarda, darslarda. Hozir yozganlarni polностью.
Jo'nataman, hammasini jo'nataman. Senga mana uni o'tgacha berdim. Ko'ryapsanmi ekranda?
Ha, ko'ryapman.
Mana bu chapter 1, bugun o'qigan darslarimiz direct proportion, misollar bu yerda. O'qiysan, buni zaten tushuntirdim hammasini. Mana misollar yechdik birgalikda. Mana exercise 1A. Exercise 1A da nechta misol bor ekan? 8 ta misol bor ekan. 8 ta misol. Mana bu yerda buni ham yechdik hozir. Exercise 1B. Bu yerda nechta misol bor ekan?
10 ta, 11 ta, 12 ta, 13 ta, 15, 16 ta.
Hammasi bor 26 ta. Demak exercise 1A, 1B senga vazifa chorshanbagacha. Mana hammasini yechib chiqchi, qancha tushunar ekansan ko'ramiz. Tugat hammasini. O'tirib yechishni boshla, vaqting yo'q. Testda yechmaydigan bo'lsang, kech qolasanki hamma ish orqaga suriladi keyin. Tushunmay qolsang, Nodir opamdan so'rashing mumkin yoki mendan so'rashing mumkin. Bitirishga harakat qil. Javoblarni ham berdim. Hozir ona desktopdan, kompyuterdan bitta folder ochib turib, senga yuborgan hamma faylni WhatsAppdagi o'sha yuklab qo'y. Ona WhatsApp kerak narsa qilmasdan ona o'zingning ismingni qo'yib qo'y, kirgizib qo'yishgan.
Xo'p.
Bo'pti, M.Aziz, yana gaplashamiz. Chorshanba kuni nechida kira olishingni menga oldinroqdan yozib orasan. Yoki shu 3:30 yaxshimi? Ko'ramizda. Kimga keladigan bo'lsa ham bo'lmaydi. 5 minut oldin tayyor bo'lib turishing kerak.
Bu safar o'ta slishkim tiqilib qoldi. Bo'ldi, boshqa aytilmaydi, xudo xolasa. Shu 3:30 ga tayyor bo'laman.
Sen mana shu darslarni yuborib, hammasini men chorshanba ko'raman. Agar yuborib tez bitiradigan, tez bitira olmaysan, chorshanba kecha bitirishga harakat qil. Bitirgandan keyin chiroyli qilib kamera scannerdan Play Store'da yükle, kamera scannerda. PDF qilib turib, bitta fayl qilib turib, ana exercise 1A, 1B qilib turib jo'natasan. Men senga qanaqa fayl qilishni ko'rsataman, hammasi bitta o'qib qo'yaman. Bo'pti bo'lmasam, chorshanba ko'rishamiz bo'lmasam. Sen ishlashni
Xo'p, mayli.
bo'pti, xo'p. Alloh tomon.